Welcome back to Trinity Ironworks. In today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating mortise and tenon joinery. Now you can do mortise and tenon joinery in a variety of materials like wood, metal, some stone you can possibly get away with, but today we're obviously going to be working with metal because we are blacksmiths. So I already have the mortise and tenon set up for the bench that I am currently working on building. But I'm going to walk you guys through the process of how that all works, and then I'm going to demonstrate riveting the tenons over the mortises. So let's get into it. Okay, this is your mortise and tenon joinery. This is your tenon here. This is what is called your tenon. This here, this square hole is called your mortise. Now it doesn't have to be square, it's just a form of joinery. It is the male fit to the female with a shoulder. That is the simple version of mortise and tenon joinery. It can be round, it can be ovular, it can be square, it can be a rectangle, it can be whatever you want it to be, but the simple version is the male fits the female and the male has a shoulder. Okay, that's your mortise and tenon joinery. Now, to properly demonstrate how this works, the mortise and tenon joinery, your male fits your female just like that. That's your mortise and tenon. Here's your tenon sticking out of your mortise, and there's a little gap down in here you can try and work out. So that's your mortise and tenon joinery right there. So this part, your tenon, is going to be heated up and it's going to get riveted over onto this mortise here. It's going to get riveted over so that it is locked in tight. Just as right down here, this is a mortise and tenon joint right here for the leg of this bench. You have a square hole here in your female, and then here's your male with his tenon and the shoulder. And then that is popped through that hole and then heated up. The tenon is heated up and then riveted over onto your mortise, onto your female. So that's the simplest version of mortise and tenon joinery that I can give you guys. Now we're going to get into riveting the tenons over, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that. Okay, so as you guys can see here, I have my bench legs and posts worked out. I have my tenon. On the end of this bar is our tenon for our top flat bar, and so that is stuck into the fire. Now, one thing that you want to be careful with about this is not heating up too much of the bar. If you heat up too far back on the bar, like all the way up into here, it's going to be harder to work and it's going to bend around. You mainly want to work on just trying to get the end of that tenon heated up. So I don't have it into the fire very far. I have it just to where I know that the tenon is going to heat up, and that's going to be just about it. Maybe just a little bit of the shoulder. That's fine. Heating that shoulder up is actually going to help seat that mortise and tenon joinery just a little bit better. But you mainly just want to have your tenon heated up because that's all you're going to be riveting, and you want to try and keep everything straight. So the idea will be to, once this is heated up, we're going to take this out of the fire. We're going to come over here. We have our bar here that we need to rivet on. So we're going to take that, and we're also going to lock those legs right into the post vise right here. Lock that in so that it's supported down by this plate on the post vise. And then we're going to pop this right on top of that tenon, make sure it's seated firmly, and then we'll get to riveting. Okay, so we're going to take it, we're going to run it down through the bottom of the spring on the post vise. We're going to seat it firmly on that plate, lock it into the vise. We're going to take our female here, get it seated, seat it down firmly, and start riveting with a big ball peen hammer. And as I'm doing this, I'm working all the way around the tenon to make sure that the material spreads evenly around the mortise, and you get a solid riveting job. Now I'm going to swap over to my nice clean hammer and just finish that off so it's nice and clean and nice and smooth. And there you have it. That's Mortise and Tenon joinery right there. Okay, just to overview here, guys, what I just did. I went ahead, I heated up my tenon. I kept my mortise cold. I heated up my tenon, slapped my mortise down around my tenon, and just riveted over. And I spread the material evenly so it spreads all the way around the mortise and it locks in firmly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. It's a blast to be able to just come out here and do these videos for you guys and to show that it's not all just knives and hatchets and blacksmithing. There is so much more to that, and I am very happy to be able to share my knowledge and to help people and to guide people if you guys have questions about any of this. And I hope some of you guys get out to your forge if you have one, and get out to your shop and just try and make something other than a knife, other than a hatchet. I hope you get out there and you really experiment with many different things, such as Mortise and Tenon joinery. It is so much fun, and it's very satisfying, and you can go a lot of places with that, and you can really get creative. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Forge on.